When you were a kid, who were your heroes? Athletes? Movie stars? Who were the people you most admired, whose careers you followed, the people you knew all the trivia about? For Cory Anotado, those heroes were game show hosts.
Wink Martindale hosted
Jack Barry hosted
Det,
21,
and Pat Sajak hosted
Dick Clark hosted Bill
Pyramid,
Jeff Edwards
to Mark was also one of my favorites.
Wipeout,
Jack High Rollers,
Press Your Luck.
And so on and so on. Men with gleaming smiles, tan faces, twinkling eyes, glossy hair by Vidal Sassoon, and wardrobes provided by Pierre Cardin. They were Cory's babysitters when he was a kid growing up in Philadelphia.
My grandmother and my grandfather were the ones who really raised me. My dad and my grandparents lived in one house, first-generation immigrants from the Philippines.
Cory's dad worked, his grandfather was a pastor, and his grandmother worked too, but she worked a night shift at the hospital. During the day, she took care of Cory. Sort of. She'd put the TV on and leave it on. And what she liked to have on were game shows.
10 a.m. was Family Feud. 11 o'clock was The Price is Right. 12 o'clock started the USA block of Press Your Luck, The Joker's Wild and Tic-Tac-Doe. Day in and day out, I would watch game shows.
Cory's earliest conscious memories are the colors and sounds of these shows on TV.
Bright lights and ding-ding-dings everywhere, and fancy music, very predictable music. I knew when someone won because everyone was happy, so I liked that.
Cory loved these shows. He loved them in that unabashed way any kid loves his favorite thing. And his fascination continued, even as the years passed and he got older. Cory's grandparents and his dad, they tolerated it because
here's something that's not drugs and not gangbanging, so this little child in Philadelphia can just stay home and be safe.
When Cory was in the 5th grade, he was watching the Game Show Network one day.
And they ran this commercial saying, are you between the ages of, 12 and 15? We're casting for a new game show for kids. We're going to be in these cities: Chicago, L.A., Philadelphia. What? Hold on. That's my town. So get your parents' permission and call this number.
Cory got his dad's permission, and he dialed the number. They went to a local hotel on audition day, and Cory got picked.
Everything in my world up until this point was small. I went to a small private school, a small Christian school. My grandfather was the head of a small church. I lived in a big city, but I never saw much of it. We were in a small neighborhood. So when I signed up for this, I didn't really understand how big this was going to be.
Cory and his family get flown to Los Angeles. They get put up in a hotel, and early the next morning, a car rolls up. It's go time.
They chauffeur us to the studio, and they put us in a room with 15 other kids. And there's this very cheery woman who seems very happy and annoyed all at the same time that she has to deal with us.
So this angrily cheerful woman explains to Cory and the other kids everything that they're supposed to do during the game show.
Smile, wait until you're called. She told us how to be good at this and what to expect. And then we were paired off in groups of 3, and those were the people who we would be playing against.
Cory and his competitors, 2 middle school-age girls, get sequestered together in a green room. There's some Skittles and sandwiches, but no TV, no way of seeing what's happening outside the room. Some people come in, put makeup on their faces, they clip microphones on them, and then
they buckled us into a chair like we're on death row, and that's when I started getting nervous.
The name of this game show, by the way, is JEP.
And JEP is the cool kids version of Jeopardy. So instead of Alex Trebek, we got the voice of Porky Pig. His name is Bob Bergen. He was the host. And instead of these stoic podiums, we had fun strap-in chairs that went through a wall. And instead of getting a little handheld buzzer, we had to smack giant buttons. And if we got 3 questions wrong, they would dump stuff on your head. 'Cause it's wacky. And I didn't know any of that going in. I just knew that this was Jeopardy. And I know what Jeopardy is. You give questions to answers. I can do that.
Now arriving in the studio are today's players. In the yellow position, from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, he's a 5th grader at Cedar Grove Christian Academy. Meet Cory Anotado. Welcome to Jeff, where our players will compete today for great prizes by answering clues in the form of a question. Players, good luck to everybody. Let's get started right away with our Jeff round. And here comes your clue. Old MacDonald had a farm.
What is E-I-E-I-O?
Absolutely correct. You just won yourself a Light Warrior from Tiger Electronics. Congratulations.
Cory is 26 now. He was 12 when he was a contestant on JEP. He tries to be forgiving to his younger self when he looks back on the tape.
There's no point in a child's life where they are ready to be put on national television and quizzed on their intellect.
How about a big hand for Cory Anotado? It says it here, Cory. You are the burping champ in your club.
Yes, I am. Would you like to hear it?
On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, but
Your parents must be very proud. Welcome to Jeff.
Went okay. I remember holding my own.
Now, Cory holds a solid second place going into Final Jeopardy. The contestants make their bets, and then they get this clue.
One of the 4 state capitals named for a U.S. president. Good luck.
So I thought, okay, capitals. You know what? Nothing. First 10 seconds, nothing. But I gotta write down something because I don't want to look like a putz. So, okay. Let's cross presidents you know with capitals you know. Washington, D.C. I feel like that's the capital of the U.S. Maybe it's a state too? I don't know.
Cory at 3,100 points. Let's see what you put down, Cory. Shaking his head. What is Washington? Not correct. What did you wager? 571.
When Cory realizes he's not going to be the winner, he handles it about as well as a 12-year-old can. He groans, sticks out his tongue, and stares down at the ground. By the way, the 4 state capitals named after U.S. presidents: Jackson, Mississippi, Lincoln, Nebraska, Jefferson City, Missouri, and Madison, Wisconsin.
And I was disappointed because I think the top prize was a TV or something, but I did get a Discman out of it, which was awesome.
It's a Sony Discman portable CD player and a great space-age metallic finish with 10-second ESP for smooth playback. Sony Portable Audio, where the music takes you. You got a Discman, congratulations. Let's move over to Francine. Francine, we've got 2 prizes for you.
Fast forward now to Cory's senior year of high school. He's still really into game shows. He's been dreaming about being on one again. And he gets another chance.
I get word that Wheel of Fortune is holding auditions in Philadelphia for a variety of theme weeks because they tend to take they milk all their outside of California appearances for all they're worth. So they were coming for a regular week of episodes. They were coming for, I think, a couples week, so a married couples week, and they were coming for a teen best friends week.
So Cory drags his friend Josh to the audition. This kid Josh, he could care less about the whole thing. But Cory at this point is totally savvy about how the casting process works. He gives Josh a pep talk.
First and foremost, you have to know how to play the game. And if you can't do that with some modicum of success, they don't want you on because that would be bad TV. But the other thing is what kind of person you are. And the base requirements are generally friendly, relatively well put together, and excited. Game shows like excited. And I think they can tell the difference between someone who is excited to play the game and someone who is excited to win lots of money. Someone who enjoys playing the game will make better TV, win or lose.
Cory and his friend Josh ace the audition. They charm the casting people, and they end up on Wheel of Fortune.
So, walking onto a game show set is really trippy because a small space can be a big space if you put cameras in the right place. And it's really hard to tell scale when you're watching something on television because set designers are very clever and they put things just out of the reach of the next camera. Watching Wheel of Fortune night after night, seeing this grandiose, shiny floor set with all these fake palm trees and TV screens everywhere. It was both awe-inspiring and disappointing at the same time.
In other words,
even if the Ark of the Covenant is, a foot wide, it's still the Ark of the Covenant, and you should respect it.
there are dangers, though, in holding something so unknown in such high esteem. Before his episode began, Cory remembers trying to chat up Vanna White. She totally stonewalled him.
She didn't even wave to me. I waved to her. I'm like, hi. I got nothing. Jack, on the other hand, friendly. Even when we weren't taping anything, he was still talking to us and putting us at ease, because this is not something people are generally prepared for in life. To go on a national television game show, spin a large carnival wheel, and play hangman.
Josh Bolden and Cory, it's Anotado. Did I do that? Thank you. I don't usually get these things right. Both from right here in Philadelphia.
Yes,
both 12th graders. Nice to have you with us. Okay, Josh and Cory. 300.
R.
No, there's no R. All right, Jennifer and Samantha.
But once the game gets underway, Cory and his friend Josh struggle to establish a rhythm against their competitors, which, by the way, are two pairs of teenage girls with thick Philadelphia accents.
Soft.
Okay.
A plate of cheesy nachos.
Yeah, that's it.
We were a good team.
1S.
The only problem was we lost.
More specifically, they came in second.
Well, you finished in second place, but that was with a very nice total, as a matter of fact, $6,400. That takes you to $12,150. Not a bad haul at all. Nice going, Josh. Congratulations. Good guitar. Thanks.
By the time Cory was in college, he was hosting game shows on his college radio station and creating game show software. He was really into the online game show fan community. Yes, that is a thing. And it's around this time he gets word of a new game show called The Chase. It's holding auditions in Washington, D.C.
The Chase is the Game Show Network's newest top trivia game, and it's an import from the UK, which is a game that I was actually very familiar with because thanks to YouTube, people had been posting episodes of The Chase for seasons upon seasons before this was announced. So I'm lucky that I already know how the game is played. I have a leg up on everyone who's just signing up because it's a new trivia game.
Long story short, Cory gets picked at the audition, and once again he finds himself on the set of a television game show.
And the way that the game works is that you get assigned two other people to be part of your team.
Cory gets assigned two teammates, Jonathan and Heather.
We play the game. And the game works like this. You start first by answering a minute of quick-fire trivia questions. Every question you get right is $5,000 in your bank. Jonathan gets 8 right for $40,000. I get 7 right for $35,000. And Heather gets 11 right for $55,000.
Now, once Cory's team earns this money, they have to go toe-to-toe with a chaser. This is sort of like a game show resident gladiator trivia expert that they have to outsmart in order to keep their cash. The guy they're put up against is notoriously good. Everyone calls him the Beast.
The Beast is back.
75,000, 85,000, 90,000, $105,000 says I'm better than you.
This Oxford-educated math genius with an IQ of 155
You may be large, but you are not in charge.
takes on a new batch of brainiacs.
You're simply a target to me.
I'll make short work of you.
I'm about to pull the plug on you.
Unleash the beast!
Cory's team has 2 minutes to answer as many questions as they can. And then they have to bite their nails for the final 2 minutes when the Beast gets his chance to catch up with them.
Ready, sir?
Yes.
Your time begins now. What Hitchcock film features the character Norman Bates?
Psycho.
Correct.
It was very nerve-wracking.
Correct.
There were some questions that he got wrong that we got right. There were some questions that no one knew. But with 2 seconds left, he needed 2 questions right. And he did not catch us. And we each won $60,000, setting the record for the largest payout in a single Game Show Network episode.
You would think at this point in his life, after making game show history, Cory Anotado would finally have it all out of his system.
It's an impressive resume, but there's always room for more.
Cory's still aiming to get on Jeopardy, the grown-up version, and Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. In the meantime, he still loves to watch game shows on TV, just like when he was a kid. He says there's something about that artificial world on the other side of the TV screen, something he'll never be able to get enough of.
I like watching these games where at the end of the day, everyone is happy.
When it comes down to it, a game show is both an art and a science.
The science is crafting a game. The art is making sure that game is fun to watch.
And the truth is, the real artist is the game show host.
There are lots of great game show hosts, but the one who really sticks out to me is Bill Cullen.
Sounds like my family reunion is in town. And I'd like to have you all as my family. Thank you very much, and welcome to The Price is Right. All kind of things. Sweepstakes again tonight.
Bill Cullen is a name that most people haven't heard in 30 years. He ended his career hosting The Joker's Wild, and he could get the best out of people without, never at their expense. It was always with a wink to the audience.
Good luck to you, Mrs. Janice Davis, a housewife from Beaufort, Georgia. And what does your husband do, Janice?
He's a hatcheryman, Bill.
A what?
Hatcheryman.
A hatcheryman?
He and his father hatch baby chickens.
Well, that sounds like a real good idea, just sitting around all day. Do they sit on eggs or do they use the electric system?
They use the electric system.
I just wanted to check. Before we start the game, I'd like to give each of you a wonderful gift from...
Everyone is having a good time. And I think that's really what a good game show host does.
It's kind of what a good parent does when you're a kid, right?
Oh, definitely. A good parent just nurtures you and encourages you to have a good time and to be the best you can be. And that's what I think a good game show host does in a very short amount of time with the people they interact with.
Including the kid sitting at home watching TV while his folks are at work. Cory Anotado has taken the next logical step in his game show evolution. He's become a game show host himself. He actually created the whole thing from scratch. It happens at a local bar, and it's called
The Game Show Gauntlet, and it's the best pub quiz in Baltimore, in my opinion. It's a standard pub quiz, except it's not. You play one of 50 different game shows per turn. Every game show you can think of, we could play during that night. Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune, The Pyramid, Classic Concentration. We play all these games, and I'm the one who hosts. I've crafted the software that we use, and it's really crafted because I love game shows so much, and I just want to. They're fun. People like playing game shows, so I want to give the people of Hummer's Bar and Grill in Canton the best game show experience that they can while drinking. It's fun. I write trivia every week. It's great.
Purpose. It can soothe your soul when you find it. Cory Anotado has taken that fantasy world in the TV, and he's brought it out into his own. He's taken on the revered mantle of the game show host, and he's wrapped it around his own shoulders. It suits him well, even if it doesn't come furnished by Pierre Cardin. And speaking of purpose, a little plug here for an annual charity event hosted by Cory Anotado. It's called the 24-Hour Game Show Marathon.
What we do is we lock ourselves in a TV studio for 24 hours. We put a camera on us. We have tables and buzzers and lights and 24 different game shows from around the world that we recreate in studio. One of us hosts, and the other two are panelists or contestants or what have you. So, and we do this as a telethon. So we've raised money for the American Cancer Society, the Kennedy Krieger Institute, and this year we're raising money for the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia.
So if that sounds like something you dare tune in for, it'll be happening next Saturday, May 17th, and you'll be able to see it online in real time at GameShowMarathon.com. For The Signal, I'm Aaron Henkin.